friends, welcome back to Haven Hill. We have a lovely, cloudy, but a really nice day here to get all of our strawberries. Yes, you may. All of our strawberries preserved. The secret to the best jam. Freezer jam, so it's very simple, you don't have to can, and using half the amount of sugar that most recipes call for, or for sure what you can buy. It's making it at the peak of the season in the spring. Here we go.
Really squishy, no bad.
If you see a really...
Like, Mom, look at...
Yeah, but make sure you compost it, yep.
Yeah, I'm just making a pile. What?
Yes, you do. No, you can't have a sharp knife.
You want to switch? Oh, it's filling up with water.
Is it good?
You can just go and get like a body armor out of it. I know where the key is.
You gonna say it?
One half for me and one half for me.
I usually make enough. I do freezer strawberry jam, and I usually make enough for about 2 years. It just works really, really well for us. And I'm doing a little bit more than what I did a couple years ago because we ran out about, it's probably about in January. So I'm gonna walk you through the process. It's really simple. I really like the recipe that I have landed on because I use a lot less sugar than what most recipes I have found. So I'll walk you through that. I'll walk you through in the video, but I'm gonna put the recipe below. This morning, I already started out really early by washing everything. I washed and then dried on the towels like you saw just a bit ago. And I use a Young Living Thieves fruit and vegetable wash, particularly for any type of vegetable or fruit that you're going to eat the outer part. And I like that. I think it works really well. So come along with me today. I'm sure you'll see lots of other things as well. Actually, really lovely thing. We save any pieces that there's a big chunk, like the most of that strawberry is not good. These will all go to either the compost, the chickens, the sheep, or the bunnies. So when we process strawberries, you can see my house as a disaster today. Welcome. This is just how it is. It's particularly in the season when we put things up. But there truly, when we are working with fruits and vegetables, there is no waste for us. And I love that. And these strawberries, it's a really good time to do strawberries in the spring because it's strawberry season. There's so much more flavor to them than any other time. And actually how we work, because I try every year to become more and more seasonal in how we eat. And because we eat seasonally, I don't ever buy strawberries unless they're frozen, and they were frozen hopefully in the spring. You can usually tell just by flavor. I don't buy fresh strawberries any other time because it's just disappointing. So we really eat tons in the spring and the summer, and then fall and winter we just look forward to them another time, unless we're eating them through ways that we preserved them, which is primarily, there's really only 2 ways that we preserve strawberries: freezing and jam. Before I go on with this, just the other day on Instagram, I shared a Cook With Me day. It was a really big cooking day, bigger than what today is, that I just took you along in my stories and I saved it. So I thought I would just put that there. If you've not gone over to Instagram, the link is below. It's MegWhite_Haven Hill. And you can see in my stories, I try to save those. They're in really short snippets, which is nice. And then you can kind of skip past things that you don't want or find recipes that you do want. And I shared some recipes over there, so you can find that in my saved stories. But today, we are doing the strawberry jam. I will be doing salsa. Some of it is a springtime salsa, so some of it's from our garden and some of it's not. The cilantro and the chives are from our garden. I don't think any of the onions are from our garden, but then of course the other vegetables are just from a local store. What else are we doing today? I'm going to make one more strawberry dessert. We had one a few days ago. I'm gonna do one more for tonight. I'm gonna get some chicken marinating. I have to make some bread for just sandwiches and different things. And I'll have to check my list, but I think that's about it. Here we go. Bagels. I thought of the other thing I was gonna tell you. I have to make all my bagels today. And one more thing. This is my like secret, not really, it's not a secret, but this is the best kitchen hack that I have. When we are crazy busy on our kitchen days, I keep a pack of unscented baby wipes, and it's just easy, not for the deep cleans. I shared this on Instagram too. It's not for deep cleans, it's just for all of the in-between things, because we have lots of different things going on at one time, and it helps to just keep things tidy to the best of our ability. Before I do the strawberry jam, it is hard for me to operate when it's this messy. That is, my dishwasher's clean. I'm gonna do just a 5-minute clean where I unload that. I need my sink clean. That's really helpful to me. So I'll quick do that and then we'll get going. Things I love about my kitchen, although there's so many things that are challenging, is this window. And Posey's doing her math out there, so it's so easy. She can ask me questions right from there, but she gets to look at that gorgeous view. And just a little side note, teaching textbooks, we used to use it a lot, then we kind of went away from it just for a year or two, and now we are right back. We love it, and it's even become better. So math is one of those things that as a homeschool mama, I had to take off my plate. And this is fantastic. Not only is there like a lecture that they can listen to, and then they can replay it and they can get helps, but there's also free tutoring if you ever need it through teaching textbooks. I know. It is, all of our kids that have used it love it. I spent less than 15 minutes. Got everything situated. My sink is clean, dishwasher loaded and unloaded. I don't know about you guys, but the older I get, the more I need to just, I can handle chaos in my kitchen, but I just need some cleanliness. What is your hardest part of your kitchen to keep clean? Mine is my stovetop, for sure. It's smaller. It is a little bit of a smaller one, and it's very, like, we don't use our microwave all the time. I would love to have it just gone, but it's very like, I don't know, narrow, short, whatever. And it's just hard for me to keep it clean. So anyway, but we are good to go. We're gonna start with the strawberries. So everything has been, like I said, washed, and I have an entire pot that's pretty well chopped. This pot is not chopped yet. Okay, so it is 16 cups of strawberries chopped. That's what I'm doing here. Normally, what I have found in a lot of recipes is then whatever you're just gonna have so much sugar. Now, granted, this is jam. There still is a lot of sugar, but usually I was finding for the amount that I was going to do, it was gonna be like around 12 to 16 cups of sugar. That's just a lot. So 2 years ago, I started making it with about 7 cups of sugar. I think it was 7 to 8, and it was perfect. We did not need it any sweeter. And then it's 8 cups of water and 8 teaspoons of, I use something called glucomannan, but it's the same thing for if you're using pectin. They call it glucky. It's a Trim Healthy Mama thing that I did years ago, and I just have found it's basically just a thickener. So you can use the exact same amount of pectin as well, if you choose to go that route. So we're going to put in a large pot, we're gonna go ahead and bring water to boil. I'm gonna add the strawberries and the glucomannan and the sugar and all of that, and then you'll see. So here we go.
I love my new shoes. You should have got them.
going to do that. But then I thought about, I actually like being able in jam to have the chunks of fruit, but not that big. And I just thought doing it with a potato masher was just gonna be ridiculously long. So since I'm still waiting for my water to boil, I did that, and that literally took no time at all. So basically filling one of those big pots that you saw earlier with strawberries is pretty much pureed, not quite. I still leave it a little bit chunky, but that is enough. That is double. One of my recipes that I shared with you, this is double. And I have a whole other pot, so I will basically be quadrupling this recipe. I also decided with how sweet these strawberries are, I'm definitely gonna do the 6 to 7 cups of sugar. I'm not going to do 8. They are so sweet and so flavorful, and yeah, so I'm definitely gonna, and I'll just keep you posted. I'll let you know. I'll be honest and say, no, it was plenty sweet enough. I'm sure it will be, because these are so sweet, just naturally. While I'm waiting for the water, I thought I would show you how I quickly make just a little energy drink. I have these little packets I get from Monate. I'm not gonna talk about that right now, but my husband and I have been on this journey after COVID of trying to get our hair to grow again. And out of complete desperation, I started using Monate, and my husband has too. I post a lot about that. Not a lot, but I post, that's not true at all. I don't post a lot, but I do post occasionally about it on Instagram, and you can see specifically his before and afters. It is crazy how much. I've had massive amounts of hair growth as well, but anyway, you can see that over there on Instagram. But they also have these natural packets of energy it says for your body and mind. I really like them. And then I always add some of my homemade apple cider vinegar to them. I usually do about 2 tablespoons. The energy packets are really sweet, and I usually do 1 of these a day, 2 of them. The apple cider vinegar, I know some people don't like it. Sometimes I'll throw a little bit of like fresh fruit in here. I'm not gonna do that today. Sometimes I'll mix it with a LaCroix or a bubbler or something like that. Have you guys had the poppy drinks? Those are really delicious as well. I enjoy it. I've done this for many years though, like as in over 10 years, probably drinking apple cider vinegar. So it's become a normal part of my day. I enjoy it. I experience the health benefits from it, specifically my gut. So anyway, this is just something that I do, and I'll just sip on this throughout the afternoon. I really like it. I'll post links to those things down below. Yeah. Oh, and then the rest of it's just water and ice. So it's very subtle. Like I hardly taste any of the apple cider vinegar because there's so much water and then that little energy pack. I asked him to get all of our jam containers ready. This is what he does. And then can you set your timer on the microwave for 15 minutes? Push timer first. Timer. It's right here. Timer. 1500. And then start. Okay, water is about boiling. Once your water is boiling, you're going to add your sugar, and then you're going to add your thickener. So whether you choose pectin or glucomannan, I'll show you. This is how this comes. This one bag will last you a very long time. And you can just get that on their website. This is no affiliation or anything with them. So then, and I will put, let's see here, 8 teaspoons of this in here. And then my recipe, like I said, calls for 8 cups of sugar, but I'm going to do 6 because these are so sweet. And then I'll just try it. If I need to add more, you can always add more. They're finally boiling, so I'm adding my sugar. This is 4 cups. Woohoo! Let's stir this. This is the glucomannan, or your pectin. And I just sift this in. So just kind of, yep, just like that. Yep, just hit your side, and then you can stir it. You can just move the spoon. Good job. Yep.
That's it?
We're gonna, no, we have to do more. So it calls for 8 teaspoons, so that it does sometimes clump, and I hate that when that clumps. I'm doing so, I remember this happening last time too. I am reminded as I'm doing this what happened a couple years ago. Glucomannan, you're learning from my mistakes, does not dissolve in hot water. It clumps. So I had to fish it out. It's easy to fish out. It looks like this. Literally, it looks like gelatin, and it works very, very quickly. So I just used a strainer, got it all out, dissolved it in a cup of lukewarm water, and added that in there. There's a few little clumps still. I'll get that out when we're all done. So I think, so I've done this many times. I think there's one year I did pectin. And I need to make these notes now on my recipes so I can share them easier. But I liked pectin better because it dissolved better. Oh well, this will all be good. So anyway, so now we're adding our strawberries that right in here. Go slowly because it's gonna be filled.
Oh, do you want to do it?
Sure, I can do it, yeah.
No, I need to make it best.
Sure. I remember this happening last time too. I have a little bit more strawberries to get in there. You guys, I need a bigger pot. What we do now is we just sit, and this will start, it's thickening quite quickly. Once it's room temperature is when I will put it into the jars, or even if it's just all the way cool. So this is gonna take a while. Okay, so I'm back. We had to step away just for a couple of hours, but we gave the first round of jam to come to room temperature. So I'm gonna change I'm gonna go ahead and do this whole thing again, but the next round I'm going to mix the glucomannan in lukewarm water and tell you the difference. So this works. So jam is always a little bit thinner. I do not want my jam to be like thick jelly. I don't like that in any way. I mean, some of my kids do, I'm sure, but that's just, oh, I can't stand that. So this will, as it comes to room temperature, it'll become a little bit more thick, and then it will go in the freezer. So it produced 16 of these. I'll do a whole nother, I'm sorry, that was doubled, the recipe below. This is 16 of these is doubled, that recipe doubled. So I'm gonna go do that whole thing one more time, and I'll come back to you and let you know how it goes. We also need to chop up some strawberries for the top of our dessert tonight. Let me show you what it looks like so far. Here it is. This is the graham cracker crust that Posey made earlier. On top of that, you put homemade custard. Our custard is, you could do it a couple different ways, but we use raw milk, and it's just amazing. So the raw custard's on top, and then I'm just gonna load strawberries on top of this. That recipe will also be below. This is a recipe that I found from, it's actually in just a really small magazine. It's a local magazine, but it's from an old farmer's cookbook or something like that. So I did have to change a few of the ingredients in order for me to want to work with it, and I lessened the sugar like I usually do, and it's plenty sweet. So yeah, oh, and the jam, I lessened the sugar at the jam. I'll put this in the notes, but I used 6 cups of sugar instead of 8, and I'm very, very happy with that. Here's the scoop. I'm leaving the original clip in of how I added my glucomannan to hot water. Do not do that. Just don't do that. I'm still kicking myself. Now I added the glucomannan into just lukewarm water. It dissolved perfectly. So this already will be a little bit thicker than that round, but it doesn't matter to me. It still is just fine. So now I'm gonna get the water going to a boil, and I'll add the sugar and all the strawberries, and we'll be good. This is how you want it to look. I'm just still cracking up at myself about how I did that incorrectly. Just shows that you can always fix things, but at the same time, this is how you want it to look. So this is the water the glucose, or if you're using pectin, they call it glucose, the glucomannan, and the sugar. So now all we have to do is let this just dissolve for a couple more minutes, and then we're gonna add our strawberries and let it cool and dish it out. So I just wanted to give you a little visual of how that should look. I may have had a slight accident. My sleeve got caught on one of them and it went everywhere. Just keeping it very real. But we did it. We have enough jam for probably about, I would say for sure, 2 years for our family. And then I also do little ones like this for gifts for people. So we run a seasonal farm school here at on our homestead. It's primarily for homeschool families just because it's during the week and that's when it works, though anybody is welcome. So I did enough for each of our families to have one, and then I have gifts. I do this size for sometimes a gift for like a family member. This size also for gifts. We have this size for gifts. So these will be, I'm gonna put this one that's only half full. This will go in my refrigerator now, and we will just use this right away. All of the square containers will be for our family, plus this one, and maybe some of the point is, we just put up a massive amount of jam, and it feels so good to have it done in spite of the little, hiccups along the way. So this is so simple. It's really easy. There's only 4 ingredients. We use far less sugar. And it's just wonderful to enjoy it. Like, you get a taste of summer all year long. Make some nice homemade French bread. You can find my recipe or my link to that bread on one of the other videos. You can just enjoy it on anything. It's lovely and delicious. You could even put it over some ice cream and it would be wonderful. So anyway, thanks for joining us today. It was fun. It was definitely an adventure, but it feels so good to have it done. So like, subscribe, feel free to share. Let me know, drop in the comments if you end up trying it. I'd love to hear. Thanks.